What's going on, guys? Tyler here. In this video, we're going to go ahead and show you guys how to build that list source criteria, how to get to the point where you're going to purchase that list. You guys can go ahead and purchase that list. I'm not going to purchase a list here because I already have my list. I don't need them right now. I just repurchased them all. But I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm not going to go through every single type of list because that would take too long, but I am going to show you how to build out the criteria, and then you guys can download if I could speak, I always have this problem. If you go into the description, there's a link that you can go download my list of criteria that I use, and you can just kind of edit it up and use what you learned in this video to get the rest of your guys' lists. All right, let's do it. All right, guys, we're at the computer now, so I'm gonna go ahead and I got Google up. I'm in incognito mode right now, just so that we don't have to worry about all my other accounts messing up with us. So we're gonna go ahead and just search ListSource in the computer as Google's brains of the earth. We're gonna go to the ListSource, first link there. We're gonna go ahead and just click register now. I'm actually gonna create an account so you guys see from start to finish how this works. Tyler, Austin, job title, I'm just gonna put CEO, industry. If you select down, you can choose whatever industry you're in. I'm gonna go ahead and say real estate. But I am gonna use my Combat Media business. That's my digital marketing company business name, and its email, because I know it doesn't have an account yet, and who knows, maybe I'll use ListSource one day. I'm gonna just say other. I'm not gonna fill that out. How do you? I'm just gonna say direct, and we're gonna say I agree. All right, we're good. So I don't know what that means. Whatever. Moving on. Create our own. Okay, so now that I did that, it put me in the opportunity to go ahead and create my own. But I want to, now that the account is created, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna step it back for you guys. And that way you guys see when you, from logging in, okay? So when you guys go to log in. So I'm gonna go ahead and log in with the account I just created. I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, I just put that in. I'm gonna cut out the 15 times that I just tried to put in that information, but I literally put in the same information 15 times. Finally logged me in. I have no idea. Hopefully you guys don't have that problem. It's the first time that ever happened to me. Nevertheless, let's move on. So when you log in, it's gonna put you at this screen here, okay? What I like to do is I just like to create your own right here. All right, so now we are in what you will be in most of the time. So this is where you're gonna build your list. You're gonna see, one thing I did not understand when I first started with ListSource is that this count here is the total amount of people that is in the county that you're searching or whatever the area you're searching, and as you add criteria, it narrows down that audience. So I'm gonna real quick open up my cheat sheet on the left-hand side of my screen here. I do not remember these things by heart. That's why I like the fact that it saves them for you. We're just gonna build this out. So geography tab is where we're gonna start at. So from the geography tab, you have these main tabs here: geography, mortgage, property, demographics, foreclosure, options, so on. You're not gonna use most of them, okay? You're only really focused on the geography tab and the property tab and then the options tab. That's all we care about. So from the geography tab, we're gonna select what we wanna select. I like selecting county. I search all my lists by county, but I'll show you in another video how to basically find your hot zip codes as well, and you can search by zip code then if you prefer, but I'm gonna do county. So I'm gonna select county, and we're gonna select the state. I'm gonna go ahead and select Florida, just to represent that home state. Actually, I'm from Pennsylvania, but it doesn't matter. Let's find Florida. All right, boom, we're gonna select Florida. Now, let's go ahead and select, let's do Hillsborough. It's like Tampa. Click add. Oh my goodness, that is, wow. My county is like a fourth of that. All right, so we have that added. So now that we have our county added, now we want to switch over to the property tab and select the criteria of the type of property we want. So for absentee owner, which is what we're building right now, we're building an absentee. The next thing we want to do is create an equity. Okay, we want to search between 40%, so we're just going to do it custom here, from 40 to 100%, and we're going to click add. That's going to add it over here, okay? Because we don't The reason we want 40% is because generally, let's just say for example, you're gonna refinance a property through a bank, you want at least 30% equity in there, because most banks are only going to give 70% loan to value. So this is a good way to make sure that property is going to have enough little buffer to make sure it's at least something you can work with. Now you can deal with properties that are over 40% or over 70% loan to value, but I don't want to get in all that. We're going to keep this kind of basic for now. We'll start adding those other tactics as we kind of move on. So 40 to 100%. Now we want to go ahead and select the drop down again, and we're going to do property type. So we're going to look for property type. Boom. Okay, now this is going to differ in your county or in your area depending on what you have, but I would just go ahead and select all these and then let it filter. Now, like I have some other lists that I do because I'm for my own personal properties that I search for. Like I look for multifamily, duplexes and above, so I have specific lists just for me that I pull for my own campaigns, and I just spend a little bit of extra money to have them separately pulled from my wholesaling campaigns and all that kind of stuff. So we want residential single family residence. That's what SFR stands for, in case you don't know. Single family residence, obviously if you're going to do commercial you could do that, but I'm going to go ahead and besides that I'm going to choose residential duplex, triplex, and I'm holding control button and selecting it. Notice if I just click them normally I can't select multiple at a time, but if I'm holding control or command button, if you're on Mac, you can select multiple at a time. I'm going to do multifamily, I'm going to do townhouses, and I'm gonna go ahead and add those ones. So let me make sure I have them all I want. Townhouses, multifamily, duplex, triplex, quad, single family residence. I don't think I added quad. Here it is, residential quad. Go ahead and add that one. And as you notice, that list went from like 300,000 down to 111,000, because you're eliminating all the commercial space and everything else. So now we have the property type. So now the next important one is going to be your property's last market sale date, okay? Because we want to filter out just in case someone just bought a property with a good amount of equity in there, just to help with the whole equity game. We want to be able to add a little bit of buffer in there. We don't want anything that was sold, or purchased in the last year or whatever. We want at least, generally what I do is 3 years from today's date. You can go back further if you like. But for 3 years from the last date. So we want last market sale date, I believe is what it is. Yeah, last market sale date. And what we're going to do is we're just going to do this back to 1900. And you just leave it from today's date, and then 3 years back from here. So I'm just going to remove the 8 and go to 5. Okay. And then I'm going to click add, and that's going to remove anything that was purchased in the last 3 years. And you notice it took off like a good 20,000 properties that were purchased in the last 3 years. Some guys go back 5 years there. I only do 3. So now we've got our property set up, and you can see your filters on the left-hand side here. I have Hillsborough, I have 40 to 100%, I have my dates, I have the types of properties that I want. Now I want to set up a little bit, filter that out even more. You can do demographics, foreclosures, whatever, it doesn't matter. We want to focus on absentee right now. So we're going to go over to the options tab, and you'll notice owner occupied status. We want to switch that to absentee owned, and we're going to select in-state and out-of-state. There's some tactics you can use, and you might want to only focus out-of-state at first because it's a little bit more. I don't want to get too crazy into it, but there's ways that you can go ahead and pull both of these separately. Okay, uncheck box, pull the list. Check the other box, pull the list. And then when you name the list, you can name them accordingly, like in-state, out-of-state, or whatever. Or if you have a software that you upload your list to, you can do that also. But if you're like looking at multiple pain points, you might want to only focus on the out-of-state guys, because those out-of-state guys, it's just an additional pain point, especially when you're dealing with a distressed property. But for now, just click on both. Don't make it too complicated. We don't want to make it complicated, even though I might have just made it complicated. Okay, so now we want it in and out of state, and now we want to do corporate properties. We have no preference on that. We don't care if it's corporate owned or not. I don't care if it has a business or not a business. If you don't want to have to deal with looking up LLCs and things like that, then go ahead and say exclude. But if you watch the video that I have uploaded to how to clean this ListSource data, I'm going to show you how I filter through all that data, pull out those businesses, and then later I'm going to show you how to look up all the owners of those businesses so you can still skip trace just the owner and still possibly get that deal. Because I don't know how many times I've been contacted about a property and it was under an LLC, and this guy had multiple properties he was trying to get rid of. So don't exclude those guys. Just don't do it. Okay. Cool. So we want the mailing address to be complete, so go ahead and have that on there. And that's it. That's building the list. Don't focus on anything else. Don't worry about all these other buttons. As long as you follow this video and you download the criteria sheet that I have available for you guys, you don't have to worry about anything else. Don't overcomplicate it, because it can get way stupid complicated. All right, so now what we're gonna do is while we have it nice and clean, we see we have 21,000 properties. That's crazy. That's like, this absentee list is about the size of 3 of my lists combined in my county, okay? And we do a good amount every single month. So crazy Hillsborough, I might need to go down there. Go ahead and just save their criteria, and what I'm gonna do is, this is how I save my list. I'm gonna create a whole nother video. Actually, I think I have a free email series, like a 7-day series that has this in it. When you I don't know, if I get your email somehow, then you're gonna end up receiving the list at some point, or the training at some point. But it's like, I name it county first. So in this case, Hillsborough, I'm gonna have to look at it because I don't know how to spell this. Hillsborough. I say Hillsborough, but I put absentee. Absentee Hillsborough, and that's pretty much it. So I put the county, and then I put the type of list, and then the county. At first, I was doing county first, and then the type of list, but then it got hard later on, because later on you're going to be having so many lists and you're going to want to re-pull the same list again. So you're going to want to have like it easy. For me, I was like OCD, and I was like, wait, if I have the county first and I have multiple counties, that means they're going to be unorganized compared to if I have it's just how it filters it. You'll see it later. So go ahead and click save. And that's going to save that criteria. And I want to show you real quick. I'm going to leave this screen just for now. I'm going to go back to my dashboard up here. I'm going to just show you now that saved list is over here. You see? Okay, so now if I had absentee Hillsborough, it filters this by modified date. But nevertheless, now I can just click on this one. And now when I go to make other counties absentee lists, all I have to do is click on this, switch out that county, and resave the criteria, and boom, now I have another list exactly the same for another county. And I do that with all my counties with all the different criteria I search. So now that we have that, I want to go ahead and purchase list. So now you have to name this as well. I'm going to name this the same exact thing. I don't remember how to spell it. It might have been 2 L's, it might have not been. Hillsborough. We're going to just guess with that. Okay, don't hate me because I might have spelled it wrong. Okay, so absentee Hillsborough. Now what we want to do is down here we want to remove duplicate property mailing addresses. Because especially with absentee lists, you're going to have different owners that have multiple properties. And you should see this go down quite a bit, 21,000. I'm sure there's a lot of investors. Yeah, 8,000, what was that? Was that 22, so 7, 8, 9, right around 9,000 properties that were of just multiple owners, right? So if one person owns multiple properties, they're going to show up multiple times on your list. So you want to remove those, okay? You want to remove the duplicates because you're just going to mail to that same person over and over. Now, if you want to spend extra money on mail, that's your prerogative. Okay, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just mail to that one person, and then I always ask, the people when I'm on the phone with them, do you have any other properties that you might be interested in selling? And then that's that. Later on, also, when you download the list of criteria, you're going to have the absentee, the owner occupied, a master list of everybody. And as you build your list, when you purchase one, you always want to suppress it against the others. Okay, so for example, you go to buy your owner occupied one, right? And it's going to show up because you've already bought the absentee one. It's going to show up on this left-hand side here of available list. You want to select that list, click the arrow, it's going to move it over to the selected list. Then you want to click apply suppression. And what it's going to do is it's going to check everybody that's in your absentee list, and it's going to verify it against the owner occupied list, and it's going to remove any duplicates. That way you're not rebuying data, okay? Because you don't want to rebuy data because it's just a waste of money. Okay, so always apply the remove duplicate and always suppress your list. Okay, if you have any questions on how to do that, comment below, and I'll do another probably short, quick video on how to do suppressions separately, okay? You can also view sample records and have some sample records sent to you. And you can also see your different, labels of how it's gonna be sent. You're gonna receive it inside of your Excel documents. You can see all that here. So you're gonna buy 13,822 names for $2,793. That is expensive. Okay, it's way too expensive. I'm gonna do another video totally separate on how to receive this for 3 cents a record instead of probably right now. I'm guessing that, here, we can do the math real quick. Let's just do the math. That's right around 35 cents a record or something like that. Let's real quick check. So how would I do that? Let's see. 2793 divided by 13. Let's just do 800 and make it easy. All right, so probably like 23 cents a record or something like that. That's really expensive. That's really expensive. I get everything, including my skip tracing, for under that, all together, all in. So you want to be able to shorten all that cost as much as you can. So watch my other video on how to get it for 3 cents a piece. So that's it, man. That's how it's done. That's pretty straightforward. You buy your list now, and it's that easy. So that's how you create an absentee list. Click the link in the description. You can go ahead and download the cheat sheet for the owner occupied, my master's list, and the other lists that I pull off of ListSource. And just keep following my content. I'll show you how I use my list to close deals and get properties and talk to homeowners, and that's about it. I hope this was really helpful to you guys. If you guys are still here at this point, you guys are crazy, okay? But I thank you for being crazy. Okay, hit that like button if this was useful to you. If it was really useful to you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to slam the bell. It's somewhere around here. I don't know. It's a mysterious bell. I've never seen it before, but people say it in YouTube videos, so I figured I would say it too. But no, hit that bell for me, and that will give you notifications when I post a video. I hit the bell on all the people I subscribe to because I would always lose when they posted videos, and then I'd go back to the YouTube channel and be like, holy crap, they've been posting videos and I've missed all this content. That's it, guys. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Remember, stay focused, keep hustling on, and I promise as long as you're helping other people and you're educating your mind, you will become prosperous in your own way, whatever prosperous means to you. Thank you so much. Stay tuned.